our paths began to cross with some regularity. And while there are many chapters to this story, for the sake of all of us, we'll only go into a few tonight. The fact is, Larry's work with the BMW and A fleet of classic cars and race cars has been very, very important to the company and probably unmatched by any of our rivals. Not only did he select and acquire many of the finest pieces in our collection today, he silently and perhaps very shrewdly was able to protect them during the exchange rate crisis, the recession that we've all been through, and the ruthless budget downsizing BMW has had to endure over the last 5 years. As a result, NA's amazing vintage fleet has come through this very trying period virtually unscathed. And not only was he smart enough to preserve these cars and save them for future generations, he knew enough to keep them quietly hidden when it was appropriate to do so. And you know what I mean. And you've seen some of his best work even here this week when we've all been able to been the benefactor of some of his efforts, seeing the sights and the sounds and even having a chance to ride in some of these very special cars. Very few of our customers across the nation have had that opportunity, and you should consider yourself very fortunate to have been here this week to see some of them in action. But some say the birth of BMW's movement to recognize its heritage began in 1996 when BMW's management looked at Mutt and Larry and I, and said, we have an opportunity to do the Monterey Historics, something we had long sought. Porsche did us a favor by delaying the launch of the Boxster and backed out at short notice. So after 10 years, Larry and I were given an opportunity to really step forward and put together the largest collection of racing and vintage.
For starters, we have a certificate of appreciation that reads, whereas Larry Koch has performed many years of exemplary service in his role as liaison between BMW North America and BMW Car Club of America, fostering an appreciation and understanding of the club within the offices of the corporation, securing support for countless club endeavors, providing professional guidance through several evolutions and of executive regimes, while never losing his enthusiasm for the mark or his fellow members, or for his fellow members. And here we hereby award him with his lifetime membership in appreciation of his many years of service to the BMW Car Club of America, signed myself and Larry. Go ahead, Frank.
If I can get to it, Bruce, I think there's something special here that Larry might like. It's almost as good as being hermetically sealed. All right. Larry, here is your special honorary life membership card, done just for you in the CCA logo with motorsport stripes. You have the only one in existence.
It needs corporate ID too.
Yeah, but this one.
We hope.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because yeah. I intend to see you wear this particular gold pin with great enjoyment, particularly since it is the old logo.
And you see nothing. Oh, there's one more item. Holy Toledo.
A lot of your friends who are here.
Oh, wow.
And some who I'm sure will be very excited. They were not able to sign it, and those responsible for sealing this as well.
Wow.
This was a great gift earlier.
This was packaged by the shipping department for UPS transfer. Wow, look at that. Very cool. Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. That's great. Yeah, we're going to get out of here. I have two thoughts. The first one was, when I first joined the club, I had a 2002 TII, which I bought used. And the first time I'd driven one was in 1973, and I had a friend of mine that had one. And it was brand new. And I went over to see him one day, and he'd just gotten it. We thought it was cool. And you're going to laugh about this, but my very first car was a 1971 Pinto. And it was a coupe. Now, you're going to laugh. And of course, this was long before the gas tanks used to kind of catch fire and stuff, but I had done a lot of work on it, and I did a good job of destroying a lot of people in English sports cars. And I decided that this little boxy thing was probably something else that we could kind of destroy on our little street racing expeditions. But I discovered very quickly that the TII was faster than my car. So I decided to drive it, and he told me I borrowed it to go get a quart of milk. It was in the morning or something on a Saturday. And I was having so much fun driving it. It was about 7 miles to the 7-Eleven, but I disappeared for 2 hours. And I think he was about ready to call state police because he thought I'd stolen the car, but I had so much fun with it. I got back that day and I just said I have to have one of these. I had to get through college before I could do it, but I had to have one. And that was kind of my birth into BMW. And I distinctly remember when I joined the club, you remember, how many of you remember the Roundel magazine when it was a rectangle? Okay? That was, help me out here, that's about 1979, I think, when it changed. And there was a picture of the David Hobbs 320 Turbo on the front of it. And I remember looking at a coworker at the time, and we were talking about it, because he was also a club member. And we were talking about the car, and I made a comment that, wow, it would be really cool to see this thing one day, because it blows these flames coming out the side of it. And that was, you know, it was kind of a dream, but it was sort of like, we'll get this done one day. Well, I think it was about 6 years ago, I had progressed in trying to see it run.